Let's have a look then, the team of the year. I don't know if you two were comparing notes because there's quite a lot of agreed selections. Eight of, so the back four, Trent, Saliba, Van Dijk and Destiny Dougie. He's been well, quite a performer, Jamie.
Doggy, yeah, listen, I think he's been fantastic. I think the full-backs, Porro, I nearly put him in. He was close to coming in as well. I think he's been fantastic. And they've just been a huge influence on the Tottenham team. And yeah, they've won a lot of games, but they've lost a lot of games at times this season. But they've been a brilliant watch. And I think it's just been fascinating watching what Postecoglou's actually done with his full-backs. So, and also I think of the left-backs of a lot of the other teams, if you like. I don't think anyone's really stood out. So for me, he has been the big standout. So
clearly, Gary, you're happy with your Declan Rice pick as well?
Yeah, I think Declan Rice has had a good solid start at Arsenal. I think maybe soured slightly in the last few weeks by the results, but generally he's been a very good sign. He's settled in well, and you know, he'll be there as a big player for many, many years to come. And yeah, I actually looked at midfield was a difficult area. Left back was a challenge, and Udogie is, I think, the outstanding choice. I went with the same one as Cara, but I think midfield was the area where I felt most like I was struggling, really, in the sense that, you know, I looked at a few and there's no one really been amazing in midfield. Rice probably been the pick of the bunch.
We'll come to the big reveal shortly, but you both agreed on three forward players. There's a reason why I'm sort of hedging my bets, because someone's picked an extra forward player, but Salah, Bowen and Son are in both of your teams. So Gary, let's come back to you on Jared Bowen.
Yeah, Bowen had to be in my team, just what our West Ham have done, how he's done, the goals he's scored, the impact he's had. And I always think when you're doing that for a team that isn't at the very top and isn't creating the most chances, I always think it's more challenging. So he's been outstanding. The thing that I felt uncomfortable with was having him as my sole centre-forward. I felt as though, in the end, because of my lack of what would be real options in midfield, I went for the extra striker up top with Bowen, because I felt as though it was a better option than going for a weaker player in midfield.
He's really thinking about this.
Yeah, he's really justifying playing a front four. But I mean, can I just mention Bowen?
Here's Gary's team then. Here's Gary's team. So
wow, four strikers.
It's not.
It's going to be fun to watch.
It's not a front four really.
Well, what is it then?
Sort of just. Bowen, well, Salah plays as you know, he sort of moves in from that side. He comes in off the line, as does Son. You know, it was more of a front three, and then Bowen was just sort of playing sort of a little bit in behind Haaland, not directly up with him.
Oh, so you've got Bowen as a 10.
Well, not a 10, just more of a sort of loose forward around Haaland. A little bit like Alvarez does, Jamie. You watch Manchester City.
Well, why didn't you put him in then?
Well, no, I'm just saying, I just thought Bowen was a little bit like Alvarez does for City. I thought, for me, I was happy with midfield. I thought about Douglas Luiz at Villa, and I looked at the stats between Luiz, Rice and Rodri and felt as though there was a case for putting him in. But I thought with Rice and Rodri holding midfield with Saliba and Van Dijk behind, we could afford to be a little bit more attacking up top. And I thought the midfield players, there were likes of Bernardo Silva and, you know, a couple of others. There's ones at Chelsea. I couldn't pick anyone from Chelsea or Manchester United just because of how bad they've been. So I just thought, I can't pick any players from that from those teams.
Jamie has.
And I thought, well done to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, the big problem I've got with Gary's team is it's going to be the most narrowest team I've ever seen in my life, because he's going to have the full-back, so Dougie and Trent are going to come inside. The two wide players come inside, absolutely no width whatsoever.
He's got Salah as wing-back.
Yeah. Should we get to my team?
I think my team would beat your team, Jamie.
Well, Cole Palmer, a Chelsea player, has made it in.
We'd steamroller that lot.
Well, for me, Bernardo Silva, I can't believe you've not picked Bernardo Silva. I just think he's sensational. He is every season. He had to be in there. And Cole Palmer, I think you said you can't pick a certain player because the team hasn't done so well, but that for me almost elevates Cole Palmer. His performances this season, he's been Chelsea's best player by a mile, which is not too difficult, but that is looking like, I wouldn't say a mistake from Man City, because, you know, would he have got in ahead of Foden or different players? But I think Palmer as being one of the players of the season, he's not just lucky to get in the team as such, he's been one of the best players in the Premier League this season.
So would you rather have Vicario than Alisson?
I just think, because he's new to the Premier League, I think Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the world, but in terms of being new to the Premier League, I think the XG prevention is the most in the league as well. I think he's been brilliant with that high line, coming off his line and helping Spurs with that as well. So for a new keeper to come into the Premier League and perform as well as he's done, that's why he's in.
I have to be honest, Gary, I think Jamie was wavering over Mo Salah as well.
Was he? Yeah.
I was when he missed that penalty.
Do you know, I mean, we've not mentioned Rodri, and Rodri, you talk about Bernardo Silva not being in my team. Rodri's won the World Club Championship, he wins the Super Cup. They can't win a game without him. He's the most important midfield player in the league by a mile, Rodri. He's the best midfield player in that position in the world.
So why have you not picked him?
Rodri, he's in my team.
You picked Rodri?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's holding me alongside Declan.
What's going on here?
How can you play Declan
Parallel
Rice and
universe.
Rodri? It's the same player.
Oh my God. Can we just go back to the point? You always try and take me off track. Rodri is the best midfield player in the world in his position. They've won 2 trophies already. They're probably, I don't know, 2 points, 3 points off the top of the league, or 4 points off the top of the league, whatever they are. I can't believe you wouldn't pick Rodri in that midfield. So I had to have Rodri and Rice in. You'd pick Rodri. I mean, I love Bernardo Silva, and I think Cole Palmer's a great talent, but I couldn't pick anyone from Chelsea United. They've been that bad. I just wrote them off. And then Bernardo Silva, I just couldn't get him in ahead of the front 4 players. Haaland, for me, is the best striker in the world, along with Harry Kane. And to be fair, I think he's a top scorer, Haaland, isn't he?
Yeah.
Haaland's the top scorer in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, but the reason to be honest, I think most teams play 4-3-3, so I'm only going to ever pick one striker. No, I mean, we've just been talking about football from 20 years ago. That's what people used to do, play 4-4-2 or 4-2-4. The football that team's playing now is 4-3-3, so one striker has to go in. Now, Haaland's been injured of late. Yes, he's the top scorer, but he plays for Man City. Yes, he's the best striker by a mile. But I felt that Bowen deserved to go in for the fact that he scored in 11 games this season. Now, he's only played 18. And 7 goals away from home. So when you're talking about strikers, sometimes a striker can score, because I was looking at Solanke and Watkins, but I think both of them got a hat-trick in a game and didn't score in as many games as Bowen. And to score 7 games away from home, I think is pretty special as a striker.
Any more, Gary? We'll revisit at the end of the season, if not.
No, I mean, ultimately, both teams are good teams. Maybe we should have been given the same system so that we could obviously then decide which players to have in. But I think that I still would have gone for Rice and Rodri in midfield. I don't think I'd have come away from that. Luiz was the other one that I was considering. And, you know, Bernardo, I absolutely love Bernardo Silva.
Can I just ask you about something, Gary? You mentioned about Luiz. I know for a fact he was in your team at 6 o'clock tonight.
See, I knew this type of thing would be happening. When the cat's away, the mice run around, you see.
Who's your manager of the year? Or manager so far this season?
Definitely Unai Emery so far. Definitely Unai Emery so far.
Yeah, I'm the same. I was thinking about I thought Gary O'Neill as well, I think has been sensational. I just think when I look where Wolves are on the table, they've probably been there before under Nuno. I think where Aston Villa are now, it feels like a really long time since they've been in that position. So I'd go for Unai Emery, manager of the year.
Gary, thank you. 2024 starts as 2023 ended with these two bickering about their team selections. Gary, thank you. Thanks for all your help tonight.